What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B. Another installment of we'll just call it let's just talk about it. We got to talk about it, right? Because, well, today's hot subject, this week's hot subject, I should say, CGC backpedals. After adamantly taking a stand on the acetate cover that they gave 9.9 and 10s to, they originally had released a statement saying, we stand firmly behind our grade and our grading process. Now they're going, not so much. So now they've released a statement basically saying, hey, all right, we screwed up. From this point on, we're going to, issue these a green label, which is what they should have done to begin with. Not only that, but the one that doesn't even really get to me as much as the other part of it, where they said they will also grade the interiors of the book and not just the acetate cover itself. I'm thinking, aren't you supposed to do that with every book? You don't just grade the cover of the book. That's how we do it. We grab a book and we give it the old once over, and go, oh wow, that cover looks great, back cover looks great, and we don't really, go page to page when we're looking at them. We tend to just look at the cover and see what kind of condition it's in based on the cover. But CGC, you're a professional grader. You were supposed to go over that whole book with a fine-tooth comb, not just the acetate cover, and say, looks good, 9.9. So that is the part that just baffled me over the whole thing. But here's the thing about this whole thing. From a business standpoint, once you have publicly come out and said, we stand firmly behind our processes, and we will not, and we're not going to back down, you need to hold that stance from a business standpoint. From a morale standpoint, or morality, moral standpoint, probably it's good to say, hey, we made a mistake, but honestly, bad for business, really bad for business to dig your heels in and then all of a sudden say, no, we were wrong all along and y'all were right. You'd have been better off just to eat this one, dig your heels in, and just let people be pissed from a business standpoint. Like I said, as far as integrity goes, probably not the way to go, but it's a really bad look for CGC. Because they're backpedaled. They said, hey, we have utmost faith in our process, and now they're saying, our process is not good. Our quality control is not good. We messed up, and then we tried to dig our heels in, and we got caught. So, bad look for CGC. So that's what kills me is that they have proven to be incompetent. They've proven to be inefficient. They've proven to be scoundrels. I mean, just flat out scoundrels. They've proven that they can be bought. They're dishonest, inconsistent, and basically an all-around corrupt shitty scammer is what they've proved themselves to be. And the sad part about it is that everybody, all the people that have seen this and are reporting on this are saying, wow, CGC is terrible. They're, what a corrupt company. They're still sending their books to them in droves. That's what I don't understand. But, and what's your alternative? Well, we'll just jump over to CBCS. Well, let's talk about CBCS for a minute, shall we? Now, I told you guys, I said when they start getting an overflow from the people abandoning the CGC ship and jumping to CBCS, they're going to run into the same issues. And what happens? They lose 365 plus submissions. Just lost them. I mean, how do you lose 365 books? They're gone. I'll tell you how you lose 365 books. Somebody stole them suckers. That's how you did it. Yeah, that's how you do it. Those books got ripped off. I'm telling you. That's my opinion. There's no fact, no evidence. That's just my opinion. Is somebody sniped them things and took them. But here's the thing, though. CBCS did the right thing up front. They said, wow, we really dropped the ball. We really screwed up. There's no excuse for it. We are going to do everything in our power to try to locate these missing books and try and do everything in our power to make things right and right the ship and take care of our customers that were affected by this. It's a stand-up way to handle it. That shows some integrity. Unfortunately, although it shows integrity, it still shows incompetence, and which goes back to what I've said. You can abandon ship, you can run from CGC to CBCS to PGX, and you can bounce all the way down the line, and you're going to run into the same thing because you are trusting strangers to take care of your prize, in some cases your prized possessions, and trusting that they're going to do a good job. And they've proven time and time and time again that they don't. You can, I've said this before and I'll say it again. You get some guy that got in here, he's got your freaking copy of ASM 300, say that baby's near mint, that sucker is a 9.8 candidate all the way, and he's flipping around looking through it, and then whoops, he drops it, bang, and it hits on the corner, and it does that. Do you really think in a million years that inspector is going to go, oh, hey guys, I damaged this guy's book, we need to make it right? Nope. He's going to slap that thing in a case. He's going to give it a 7.0 grade and say that's the way it came. And you can say, well, I took pictures of my before and my after before I sent it in. I took video and all this. But you can't prove it. You can't prove it. They're going to say you can't prove it. How do you know that's the same book? You don't know. You don't. They're going to try to get out of it. They're going to claim they're not going to take responsibility for the damage, and they're going to move on. That's the way it works, man. And we can keep sending our books to them in droves. That's just what baffles me. But again, before I don't want people in here thinking that I'm sitting there crucifying everybody that sends their books to CGC or to professional grading companies. Hey, you do your collection the way you want to do your collection. If you like them graded and you like to hang them on your wall and show that 9.8 and makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, You go for it, man, go for it. But just remember, they gave 9.9s and 10s to a plastic cover. They gave 9.8s to a sheet of acetate that had nothing in it and put it in a case and sold it for several $100s. An acetate sheet, a blank acetate sheet with nothing on it. These are the people that you trust. But so again, my hat's off to CBCS for at the very least, pulling the curtain back and saying, yeah, we really screwed up and we're going to try to make it right. But again, how do you make it right? How do you do it? How do you possibly make that right? I mean, you don't know what their grade was. Or I think they said that it got lost post grade, so it was already assigned a grade. So do you give them fair market value for what the grade was for that grade? If you get a 9.8 ASM 300, do you give them back $3,000 for it? Do you say, well, that's just, that's not, what the actual value is. We've determined the value is this, whatever. Do you try to weasel out of it? The ones that didn't make it to the grading process, how do you reimburse them? What if it's a book that you can't get your hands on? What if what if it was an AF-15? You can't replace that. It's not like you can run right out to Walmart and pick up another one. So how do you make it right? How do you say we lost all your books and make it right? I don't see a way you can, other than give them a ridiculous amount of money over what the estimated value of the books are, and so that they can repurchase the books. But it's crazy. So again, I said you can't expect to jump ship and go to another grading company and get a better service from them, because they're all going to do the same thing. It's all crazy. We've said it in our own community 1,000 times. Grading is subjective. It's no different than when it's on an assembly line and one person might say, that's a 7.0. One person might say, oh yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. It's subjective. It's all subjective. There is one instance where I see professional grading companies are a useful tool, and that is online selling. In manufacturing, there's a quality standards company. You may have heard of it. It's called ISO. The beauty of ISO is it didn't come in. They didn't come in and build your quality system for you. They came in and ensured that you were abiding by your own quality system. Put quite simply is say what you do what you say, and document it. That was what they'd check. But the beauty of the ISO, I don't know when I did it, they were in ISO 9000. I don't know where they're at now, what number it is, but it's still the same thing. But the beauty with ISO is when you are feeling out for new clients, new business, new customers, they ask, how's your quality system? What kind of quality can I expect? And you go, ISO, we are ISO certified. And they go, oh, and then it's the end of this discussion. So ideally, that's what professional grading would do for online sales. They say, what condition is it in? Well, it's CGC 9.8, boom. And they go, oh, okay, well, I don't have to ask any more questions. Ideally, that's what should happen. But as has been shown numerous times, that's not always the case. Just because CGC calls it a 9.8 doesn't even mean it's the right book in a lot of instances. They gave a 9.9, 9.10 to that piece of crap acetate cover, or a 9.10, 9.9 to a 10. But so even though people still hold it as a standard, and when as being held as the standard, you should expect more from the company. You should expect consistency, and they just don't deliver it. So even though that tool would be useful for online sales, I get it. It's still not 100% reliable. And to me, I still stand behind my statement. The only reason why anyone gets their books professionally graded is because there's a plan, whether long term or short term, to sell that book at some point. And I get it. You know, if you can put it in, pay $50 and have somebody guess a grade at it and put it in a plastic container and sell a $100 book for $800. Make that money, I guess. But don't pretend like you're not doing it for the money. Don't pretend you're when it all boils down, it's all comes down to money. Because if you weren't doing it for money, you wouldn't care. But anyway, that is my little 15-minute or so rant on CGC. Again, a couple of my closest friends swear by CGC and think they're just God's gift to collecting. I'm just not one of those guys, but this is just my opinion, and again, my opinion don't mean shit. I still stand behind Two Brothers' little tagline, collect your way. I wholeheartedly believe that that's what you want to do, collect your way. This is just my little opinion piece on the whole thing. But that is going to do it. Let me know in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with. I'm happy to have civil conversation with people. If you're just going to go in there and call me a retard or moron or whatever, I ain't gonna bother with you. But you're gonna have a civil discussion about it, I'm happy to do so. Let me know. I am not infallible. My mind can be changed. But that is going to do it. Before you guys go, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff we love for you to do on YouTube. And that's going to do it for this one. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna figure it out.
Were you followed?
No, I don't think so.